This is Susie Cheel from susiecheel.com, and today I'm talking with my friend and colleague Evelyn Lim from abundancetapestry.com. And Evelyn is sitting in her home over in Singapore, and today we're going to be talking about her new book, Self-Love Secrets. Hi, Evelyn.
Hi, Susie. It's so nice to see you.
Oh, it's great to talk to you. And one of the things I just love about Skype, that it enables us to connect with all our friends around the world. It's sort of like you can sit and have coffee in one another's offices.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Yeah. So first of all, I was going to give you a bit of background on Evelyn. She's the author not just of her new book, Self-Love Secrets. She's also the author of Abundance Alchemy, A Journey to Gold. She co-authored another book called Adventures in Manifesting, Success and Spirituality. She's also a life coach, an intuitive consultant, and a vision board counsellor. Evelyn has a special message that she likes to share with others, that the change begins within of you. Be the luminary of love and light. And her personal creed stems from the importance of aligning the true self in order to consciously manifest abundance. It arose from her personal journey for greater self-love. So this is a journey that Evelyn, you and I both seem to have been on for quite a long while. And it's something that we feel maybe we've just got somewhere, but there's another step in the process. Have you discovered that, found that as well?
Yes, I did. I mean, for a while, I've actually reached a certain level of self-loving, but it was only until this year that I felt more confident and felt more ready to write this book. And much of the things I found out is actually covered in my new book. So, yeah.
So, Evelyn, what drove you to actually write this book?
I think it started about 3 years ago when I posted an article on my blog on how to love yourself. And since writing that article, I've been receiving emails on a daily basis ever since. All in all, as of early this year, I've received about 1,000 emails.
That's
I've been
amazing.
Yeah, it is. And I've been faithfully, trying to answer these emails as much as I can. And eventually I just thought that I might as well write a book on it.
It's also, I think, being quite well received too, because it's going to solve, or it's going to provide tools and tips for people who are starting on the journey, plus people who are already along the journey.
Yes, yes. The thing is that a lot of these emails are, I mean, they are written from people from all over the world. And I've received emails from teenagers as young as 14 years old, and even senior folks as old as 60 years old. So it really cuts across all nationalities, races, and age groups.
And it's something that talk about self-love. I know when I was growing up, you were always told not to be selfish, to look after others and things like that. So for some people, it's a bit of a leap, isn't it, to move into that thing of I've got to take care of myself first before I can take care of you.
Yes, yes, I kind of agree. And a lot of people are actually mistaken into believing that focusing on the self is actually pretty self-centered and selfish. And but the thing is that when we are focusing on the self, in terms of self-love, we are not doing it from a perspective of just boosting the ego. Healthy self-love is actually not boastful. We are cultivating a sense of quiet confidence. And if we truly love ourselves, we are not dependent on others for approval or acceptance. We'll be saying a lot of kind and encouraging things to ourselves.
That's right. Our self-talk will be much more positive,
Yes,
rather
definitely.
than beating ourselves up. Because I read in your book, you have been down the self beat up trail, and I'm very good on the I'm not good enough. which is another, that's a saying that really, I believe, disempowers us. And when we don't have the self-love, as you say, we tend to look outside for the answers, which is something you discovered on your journey as well, that you were always looking outside, but it was when you went within that you personally began to grow.
Yes, because when we are looking outside, there basically is this fear of rejection. But the thing is that we need to look inside ourselves and really get comfortable and be at peace and accept ourselves for who we are, whether we've got any flaws, imperfections, or have made a mistake in the past. It's really coming into our own and loving ourselves truly.
And what did you find from the emails and from your experience of people you work with and things? What happens when people don't embrace their own self-love?
There are a lot of consequences. The people that I come into contact with and the people that I've helped in my personal consultations, they have problems believing in themselves. They believe that they're not worthy. They say a lot of nasty things about themselves, and they don't trust themselves. And if you have so little belief in yourself and you're saying nasty things all the time, it's like every area in your life gets affected, from work to family to relationships, friendships, dealing with your children, and all areas, it's quite a lot to deal with.
Oh, that's right. And it's from that point of view too, in the book, you actually share the story of beginning to write out what you didn't like about yourself and just allowing the words to flow onto paper. And you seemed at the time obviously quite surprised at, wow, is that what I'm actually saying to myself?
Yes. I for a start, when I was doing inner work and I decided to actually observe and record down the things I've been saying to myself, I was really shocked. I didn't realize that I was saying so many nasty things about myself. Yeah, and I would recommend it to anyone who wants to get started to really observe and to kind of tune into what they have been saying to themselves.
I think that's a very good tool to have. And also what happens is, our body hears all of the negative things, and it lowers all our vibes and our vibrations. Whereas, when we're saying uplifting things to ourselves, we ourselves are in a much higher vibe and in a much happier state.
Yeah, that's true. That's really true.
And that's what you and I both find also, because we both work in the area of abundance and in the sort of the area of law of attraction. And
right.
when we have those high vibes, we begin to attract more of the things we do want into our lives. But if we aren't conscious of our language, then it's very hard. It's very hard to sort of bring in the things that give us joy and that really fulfill us.
Yes.
So what is it, when do you think people identify that they actually have an issue sort of with self-love? Have you come across with the people you work with and things, is there a specific sort of thing that you start with of helping people to build that awareness?
A very easy way is just to observe the behavior that, like for instance, if you have an addictive behavior such as taking drugs, smoking, drinking, or even just being very unhappy with yourself, these are signs that, you can have some challenges in the self-love area, as well as, just listening to your own self-talk, that's a sure giveaway. If you've been labeling yourself, like, the things you say to yourself, such as, I'm such a freak, I'm a failure, I'm not good enough, why did I do this? And you're constantly beating yourself up. These are just very obvious signs of, challenges in the self-love area.
Absolutely. So in your book, one of the things that I've noticed from reading the book, Evelyn has shared within the book her own detailed journey of self-love. And she also includes something that I love very much, are fables, as well as stories of real life people's stories. And this seems to me to bring the book to life so people can actually relate to that. And what you're doing as you go through, you're giving people something to hold on to or something to do so that so that they can be involved with, right, well, I can relate to that. Right, and you've got set out 7 keys to loving yourself, and which I love as well, because then you've got the key with the heart on the cover, which is looks fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I personally love reading stories, and the thing is that it helps to make these personal development tips come more alive and more inspiring, and it resonates much better if you have a story that we can kind of feel inspired by. So yeah, definitely I feel that with any book that I write, it has to come with lots of stories.
And I think, and that's how we learn, isn't it? I mean, that's what our blogs are. Our blogs are about. I know that when I tell a story, I get a much bigger response than if I'm when I'm thinking, oh, should I write this, or it's not, or it's a bit more academic or something like that. So it's,
Right.
yeah. So we actually learn. We really learn through stories. And do you have a favourite technique of the ones that you outlined in the book, or one that you found besides the journaling that's been very effective for you?
Okay, personally, I've used a lot on emotional freedom technique, or EFT, and that has brought a lot of tremendous benefits to myself and even to my clients. And the thing is that with EFT, it actually goes very well with self-love because of the healing statement.
Yeah.
I deeply love and completely accept myself. So that works beautifully together.
That's right. It's very powerful, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Is there something else that you would like to share about what the book covers that maybe goes beyond just addressing self-talk?
Right. When I was writing this book, I realized that it has to go beyond just addressing self-talk patterns. I came across this quote by Albert Einstein, and he said that you can never solve a problem on the level it was created. And that got me thinking, and I thought that I just have to incorporate the spiritual aspects of self-love as well. And I believe that could be what's missing for a lot of us, and that might bring someone with difficulties in getting started, or even with greater self-love, that might be the missing ingredient for them.
So that's about really getting in touch with your inner self and learning to listen and learning to trust, isn't it?
Right.
Learning to trust, and also along the way with self-love comes a lot of self-forgiveness. And that one also can be something that is a challenge for people.
Yes. In fact, studies have shown that those people who are more compassionate tend to be happier people, and that leads to greater productivity and success at work and healthier relationships. So I don't see why we should continue to beat ourselves up. We should in fact be more forgiving and compassionate.
One of my dreams has always been that, because I used to teach preschool children, and I always think that's I know it starts in the home, but you look at the language that so many people use with children, no, don't do that, whatever else. But if we start very early, we won't have all of these people out there who have to venture on this journey for a long while, and have to understand also that basically it's a journey. Once you get on it, it's something that is ongoing, as I've discovered. I don't know about you, for the rest of your life.
Yes, definitely. I mean, for a while I was thinking, when is this going to end? But I discovered that, well, this is really a lifelong journey. I have to embrace it, and I've been happier, much, much happier ever since I got started.
Mm. And I've found the same, I suppose, recently, having had my recent gift from what I'm calling a gift from the universe, which is something I thought I had begun. I had really sort of worked through that, but there's other levels that come up. And I think that's one of the things that anybody embarking on this journey needs to embrace, to think there is no quick fix.
Yes.
I was thinking back when I was about to interview you today, I thought, I wonder what the first book Evelyn bought on personal development or about self-love is. Because the one I bought was, I think the first one I bought was Creative Visualization by Shakti Gawain, along with Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life. And that's back in, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago. So it's been a long while. Do you remember what the first book was that you bought?
It's the same book by Louise Hay, You Can Heal Life.
Yeah.
But at the time when I was reading it, I didn't feel like, I totally understood or completely about what she was writing. And it was only through my own, inner work and really looking inside that I suddenly saw the light.
Yeah, that's right. We can look outside for a long while and look for things, but eventually you have to go in because the answers are within.
Yes, most definitely.
So, Evelyn, with your book just launching, and they're going to be, this book, I believe, is going to be able to help a lot of people. So somebody's thinking about, should I buy this or whatever else? What would you say to them? What would be something else that you feel that somebody who buys this book is going to get from it?
Okay. I think that firstly, as you have already mentioned, that there are lots of stories in it, and that makes the book an interesting read. And there are lots of questions that are being answered in my book. It's being written in a very easy to understand format, so that anyone from as young as a teenager to someone like 60 to 70 years old can also understand it. And I've been very blessed that I've received a number of endorsements from other authors in the personal development industry as well. And they've said that they really like the book. So I believe these are enough reasons to buy the book.
And there's also a supporting video of all the affirmations that are in the book that people can use. And I think you're also giving people a large collection of self-love quotes.
Yes, that's right.
So they've got it in the book, but you're giving some other things that are in just one place. So I think, they don't have to flip back through the book or something like that.
Yes, it comes with a workbook, and it comes with an affirmations, because I found that a lot of people really like using affirmations, but they don't necessarily know how to use them or even what to say to themselves. So I decided to, just put it somewhat separately so that it's easy to find it.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yes. Well, I was just saying to you today, I've actually shared your affirmations on my blog today. So, I think it's, I love those sort of videos and things like that. So, and it's good, and somebody can put it on their iPod or on their phone and take it, or they can have that of thinking, I just need to give myself a little boost.
Right. Yes. That's a fantastic idea.
And
thank you so much, Sylvie.
I'm going to ask you also, are you going to put it on the Kindle?
Eventually, yes, I would think so.
Give you more people would have access to it.
That is a great idea. I'll definitely look into that.
Okay, that's great. Well, now, is there anything else, Evelyn, you would like to say to the viewers before we sign off today?
No, just get my book. That's lots of interesting stories and tips, and yeah, I really hope that with this book it can help, change lives.
And that's what one of the things that you and I are both passionate about is creating change.
Yes.
So that we create the ripple, so that other people go out and create the ripple.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so today I've been talking to Evelyn Lin, and this has been Susie Chill from susiechill.com. Thanks, Evelyn.
Thank you, Susie.